What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the smoking section. I'm Sean, and today it's kind of a good day for me. So a lot of things have been going on lately. When it comes to like personal things and just dealing with everything with work and traveling and all sorts of different avenues that wind up making things like this difficult. But we're getting back into it. And I know that before I've said this, that we want to try and get back into doing cigar videos, and I did a live, and I was like, hey, this is what's going to go down. And it just kind of, it went down a different path. And recently, I've had this want to try and get back into it. I've been going out, smoking a lot of different cigars, trying different things, reaching back out to some of the people that maybe you guys remember. From when I was doing my lives, I got back in touch with Johnny Smokes. I got back in touch with McAuliffe, trying to get things back on track again. And for a little while, we were doing different shows with different groups. Dapper D, we were doing a show with them on Sunday nights. Johnny, all sorts of things. And we're going to be getting back into more focusing on just the smoking section and hanging out a lot more with Johnny Smokes Uncut. It came down to a lot of different reasons why. Traveling for work had a lot to do with it. I felt as though I wasn't able to put in the time for doing the virtual smoke deck, and it wound up just falling to the wayside, but I wish those guys the best. Both Dapper D and Johnny are just awesome, awesome guys. I love them both. Would never say anything bad about them. They're really great, knowledgeable guys when it comes to cigars. But I think right now, as we kind of slowly bring ourselves back into this, we're going to be getting back into doing more of just the smoking section, doing cigar reviews, doing our own lives, where we can interact with you guys. You guys can ask questions, tell me about cigars that you guys have smoked, and just kind of make it more about the smoking section and its community. So with that being said, obviously I wouldn't be making this video unless we had an awesome cigar to smoke today. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be smoking a great cigar, and it's very much Halloween themed. And if you don't know what cigar I'm talking about, just look right here, because it's probably going to be giving you the description in the clickbait of the video. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring this cigar in, and we will go from there. So as you can tell by the title right below me here, we are bringing in the Alec Bradley, the Filthy Ghooligan. Now, obviously my lights are a little bit bright. It's been a while. We're trying to get some things figured out here, but there it is, the Filthy Ghooligan. And you can see we got little ghosties on there. Beautiful, beautiful barber pole. It's an amazing, amazing cigar. I'm really happy that they brought this one out. As you guys know, Alec Bradley wound up bringing out the Filthy Hooligan, which is usually around, I believe, St. Patrick's Day when they wind up bringing it out. Amazing smoke. Comes in a 2 barber pole and a 3 wrap barber pole, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a stunning, stunning, stunning cigar. They wound up bringing this one out, and I gotta say, I've smoked one of these before, and they're awesome, awesome cigars. But we're gonna bring this one to the channel today because I want to do another take on it and see if there's anything else that I can find, while also giving you guys a description of what we wind up tasting in this cigar today. So before we get into that, you guys know how bad my memory is. I usually do a little read off on what the cigar is made out of, the different tobaccos and everything, and I have my little cheat sheet up here. So this one does include an Indonesian, and I'm going to screw this word up, Besuki binder and fillers from Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic. This does only come out for this, according to what they're saying. They're only going to try breaking this out unless it's a really big hit. This is going to be a seasonal cigar. Now, whether or not they're going to change this up at some point in time for next year to try and make it, a little bit different, it's yet to be seen or yet to be heard, because obviously Halloween's in the next couple of days. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to light this thing up. We're going to see how she smokes, and we're going to go from there. So I will be right back with a cut and a light. Just that first initial light, I absolutely love it. It just has such a great pull. It's not hard to get a nice draw off of it. The aroma itself, it almost has like a sweeter aroma, but it's not too sweet. You almost get like a hint of like cocoa in the very first light. Now you guys know me. I always wind up doing a cat's eye cut, which I hopefully you guys can see that. So I usually wind up doing a cat's eye cut or a V cut. I love the way this cigar just pulls. And I mean, you can do this with a straight cut. You can do it with a punch. You can do it with a V cut. The cigar just absolutely has just such a nice feel to it. It's not too tight. And it just has an amazing, amazing draw. Little notes of black pepper as well, which you guys know, I love the pepper in a cigar. It's one of the main reasons why I love smoking fuller bodied cigars. This one is actually considered to be like a medium intensity for cigars, which I think is great. I think it holds up its end of the deal. But like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful cigar. I love the way this thing lights. I love the way it looks. It's one of my favorites, to be honest with you, that Alec Bradley has brought out recently. Now, I guess you could say it's almost about the same thing as the Filthy Hooligan, just a little bit different. But I do think that they changed things up a little bit when it came to this one. They definitely used some different notes that the Filthy Hooligan does not have, that the Filthy Ghooligan does. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to smoke this down to our first third, and we will be back to let you know how it's holding up. Does it canoe? Does it wind up splitting? Does it wind up going out? You'll find out in just a little bit. So as you guys can see, I'm pretty much almost through my first third. The ash is holding up really, really nice. It's a very well constructed cigar. But what else would you expect from Alec Bradley? Loving the way this thing is tasting. I gotta say, you almost get like a little bit of like a cocoa, a little bit of like the pepper. The pepper calms down. It hits you in waves almost, but it's an absolutely beautiful blend. And I know this is going to sound a little bit weird, but it even seems like there's a little bit of like a burnt honey, like a sweetness of honey. It's not like a sugar. It's not anything too sweet, but it's almost like a burnt honey that kind of trails off towards the last little bit of smoke. The cigar just holds up really, really well, and I'm not getting any unravels. I'm not getting anything. It's just, the smoke is just so nice. Not a lot of pull that I need to try and keep puffing and puffing and puffing to try and get it out. Absolutely amazing cigar, and I just love the way that it goes. The best thing that I like about smoking this cigar is I don't always feel as though I'm going to ash myself. Once I get to a point, so like now, like at this point in time, I'd probably knock my ash off. I'm going to try and see how far I can get it before it starts getting a little bit too flimsy. But I mean, as you can tell, I mean, it's literally starting to go up a little bit, if you could see that on the camera. I try and rotate the cigar as I smoke, so that way the ash kind of goes up and down, I guess you'd say, to try and keep that length. Is it necessary to keep your ash on the cigar? No, it's not. Some people say that if you wind up keeping the ash on the cigar, that you wind up getting a little bit more of the flavors out of some of the ash that might be holding a little bit of things back. If you knock it off, or if it falls off, is that going to ruin your cigar experience? No, it's not. It's still going to have all those flavors that it comes with. I like to try and see how long I can let mine go before I wind up either ashing myself or just knocking it off. But I'll probably give this a few more puffs, and then probably just knock it off, so that way I don't ash myself on camera, because it's always embarrassing. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep smoking this down. Like I said, it's Sunday morning. You guys will probably see this Sunday evening. But just so you guys know, during this whole time, I have been drinking a cup of coffee with this. So this is my morning cigar that I wanted to do a cigar review on, to try and start getting myself back into it. So I just have a little bit of Folgers coffee with some creamer, and it's pairing really, really nicely. You're not fighting for everything. The coffee actually complements the cigar really well. So I'm going to go ahead and take a sip and get back to our cigar, and I'll see you guys on the second third. Told you. I told you it was going to happen on camera if I wound up trying to hold on too long. So I'm down to about my almost towards the end of my second third. The pepper has really intensified. And something that, by the way, I just want to show you how lucky that is. Look, landed in the ashtray. There's first third over here, second third right there. You can see it. You can see it. It landed in there. Tell me that's not lucky. But, so one thing I want to try and bring to people's attention is sometimes you're going to get the flavor of the cigar, the pepper, the intensity within that second third. Something people sometimes can confuse with the spice is the heat of the smoke. Obviously, as that flame gets closer down towards your lips, you don't have that passageway for the smoke to go through that kind of helps cool it off a little bit. So 9 times out of 10, people start getting down towards the very end and they're like, oh my God, this cigar is it's so spicy. It's really starting to intensify. And sometimes that's not always the case. Yes, towards the end, you can get a lot more pepper notes. Some of the sweetness kind of goes away if you're smoking a sweeter cigar. Some of the light hints of maybe cocoa or rum or, a grassy type of taste, earthy, leather, all these flavors might kind of disappear within the intensity of the pepper, or might be masked by the smoke being a little bit hotter and kind of covering your tongue a little bit more. So if you ever feel as though the cigar is kind of letting you down on flavor, it might not be the cigar, it's just the heat of the smoke that might make it a little bit more difficult to taste those. But I got to tell you, the pepper is really intensified, which I personally love. I can still kind of taste a little tiny hint of that burnt honey that I said before. It's very, very little though. I mean, there's days, or not days, there's times where it's like I hit this a few times and it's like, did it go away? And then I kind of tasted it a little while afterwards, after I had a sip of coffee or something. But the cigar is really holding up. It's burning quite nicely. As you can see, I got a little bit of a high spot there, but that's normal. That'll just burn regularly. But the cigar is just really holding up really nicely. I'm really glad that I got to catch that on camera, that it fell off, because that's usually what happens in one of these videos for me. But yeah, I'm just going. Like I said, I'm here smoking this through. I got a movie on, just kind of relaxing, just taking the time to enjoy this cigar. I'd honestly say this is a great breakfast cigar as well. I mean, if you like something that kind of helps wake you up in the morning, this doesn't have a lot of intensity. It has just enough that it's like it gives you kind of that jolt without not saying like, hey, where's the actual flavor in this, like maybe a mellower cigar might have. But it's also not going to put you on your ass like something that might be very intense, very, very full of flavor might do in the first thing in the morning. But I'm going to keep smoking this down and just keep going to town on this, and I will see you guys in the final third. So I will catch you then. So I'm getting down to the part where I usually feel pretty comfortable, maybe just smoking maybe another half of an inch off of this cigar. But I got to tell you, all of the flavor wound up going away, other than a little bit of the spice. Really beautiful cigar, though. I mean, this was an absolute joy to smoke in the morning. Usually, I don't smoke too many cigars in the morning unless I got a long drive that I need to go to, and I usually smoke one in the on the way. But no, I really enjoy these cigars, and it was an absolute joy to smoke. It is getting to the point now where a lot of the smoke is getting a little bit hot, a little steamy. The lips get a little burnt on it. If you hit it too many times in a row, you kind of got to let it chill a little bit and then wind up going back in for it. The smoke is very hot at this point, but the flavor is really, really great. And I love this cigar. I love the way that it just all comes together. I love the look of it. I love the band. I love everything about this cigar. And I'm really hoping that you guys get a chance to smoke this as well. I'm going to wind up smoking the rest of this, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts to let you guys know how everything came together and the way that it ended. So I will see you guys in just a second. So the cigar is smoldering in the ashtray right now. I love this cigar. I really do. I think that I really love when cigar companies take a spin off of their other cigars that are out there and wind up making special cigars such as this. Obviously, when the Filthy Hooligan first came out, you couldn't keep it on the shelf. You really couldn't. It was such a great cigar right around St. Patrick's Day. Everybody wanted it. And with them coming out with 2 different barber poles, a tri-wrap and a dual wrap, it was really, really awesome to see that they wound up going down this route and breaking out something for Halloween for this year. Just in case you guys didn't get a chance to see it, that is the band right there. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. It's simple. It has such just a good way about it that it really makes you want to grab that cigar off the shelf. And I got to be honest with you, I really enjoy when cigar companies do this. I know CAO wound up breaking out a lot of different ones. They wound up breaking out, I think it was like Bad Santa or Naughty Santa, the Abominable Snowman, Smoking Uncle Sam. Like, there was a whole bunch of them that CAO wound up breaking out that you can't even get anymore. I hope that Alec Bradley keeps this one in rotation for every year. It's a really good smoke, and it's a spin-off of. Now, I know that the Filthy Hooligan had the Candela barber pole, and they took the Candela wrapper out of it and wound up just doing a Maduro and almost like a darker Maduro wrap for these, which I think is very appropriate for the spooky type of season that you're looking for. But I think that this was just an absolutely great cigar. I hope that you guys get a chance to wind up grabbing one of these. I'm not sure how many boxes were actually released into rotation for different cigar shops, but I know that depending on who winds up bringing them out and who winds up ordering them and putting them in your local brick and mortar shop, hopefully you guys wind up finding them. I know that Cigars International winds up selling these a lot. They're really good with trying to get these early releases or quick releases or seasonal releases out. I do know that Drew Estates wound up dropping a seasonal Sweet Jane, which will probably be in the rotation for one of these videos before Halloween gets here, which I only have a few days until that happens. So, but it's great to see that companies wind up doing this to kind of try and help bring out new material, new things to just try and help boost sales and also, give people what they want. They love little intros to this. They love different bands that they can collect and say like, hey, I've tried this one, it was a great cigar. Or, hey, I tried this one, it was crapshoot. I personally love this cigar, and I hope that you guys wind up getting the chance to do it or smoke it. And leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys have smoked it, if you haven't smoked it yet, if you want to try and see where they can find it. Like I said, I know Cigars International usually has them. I don't know if you can order them off of Cigars International or if you have to wind up going to one of their stores for it. But definitely give it a try. Look it up. See if you can try and get one. Hell, try and hit up a buddy and see if they got it out of state. If you got friends out of state, see if they can send it to you. But with that being said, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to start my day. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. This is the smoking section coming back for a 3rd or 4th time. I forget what it is, but hopefully we're going to keep trying to push these out and really take a dedication to it. I'm really looking forward to more cigars and more videos. And it's going to be a while since I've said this, so bear with me, but this is Sean with the smoking section. Thank you guys so much for everything, and I will catch you guys on the next one. As always, stay blessed, stay smoking, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.